A military coup has caused political disarray in one of the most Western-aligned and stable countries in an otherwise volatile region of Africa. Niger's president has been removed from power according to a group of soldiers. President Mohamed Bazoum had already been held in his palace for hours by members of the Presidential Guard when an announcement by a colonel was broadcast on national TV.
26 juillet 2023, nous, forces de défense et de sécurité, réunis au sein du Conseil national pour la sauvegarde de la patrie, CNSP, avons décidé de mettre fin au régime que vous connaissez.
The military group declared they had put the country in lockdown, shutting its borders, imposing a nationwide curfew and suspending political party activity. But why is the West worried this coup could have such damaging regional impacts? Niger is a key player in Africa's Sahel region. As one of the few democracies left in the area, President Bazoum worked with the West on key issues, including tackling Islamic insurgency, illegal immigration across the Mediterranean, and addressing rising Russian influence. Bazoum's election in 2021 was the first democratic transition of power in the state that has witnessed 4 military coups since its independence from France in 1960. Beyond its borders, political upheaval has marred the Sahel region, particularly in recent years. 2 of Niger's neighbours have seen its governments toppled. Mali's army seized power in 2020 and staged another coup a year later, toppling the transitional regime, while Burkina Faso's military removed its government in 2022. Chad also announced that its security forces had thwarted an attempted military takeover last December. Another major worry is the threat from Islamist militancy, which is rife and spreading in this part of Africa, and has been a growing cause of political instability and conflict. With these changes, Niger became isolated from its neighbours as a Western-aligned democracy. On the ground, its counterparts seem increasingly anti-Francophone and drawn to Russia, as reflected by the incremental presence of Russia's Wagner paramilitary. Similar sentiments could be seen as several hundreds in the capital gathered in support of the coup. Some Russian flags could be seen held aloft in the crowds. There were animated scenes as supporters of the coup d'etat ransacked and set the ruling party's headquarters alight. But elsewhere, other allegiances were evident, with crowds outside the National Assembly building showing support for the president and the democratic system. The coup received widespread international condemnation, including from the UN, African Union, and the EU. And while President Bazoum is reportedly safe and able to access his phone, the EU has demanded his immediate release. The UN has responded by suspending all humanitarian aid to the country.
Humanitarian operations are currently on hold given the situation. There are currently 4.3 million people in need of humanitarian assistance in Niger.
According to state media reports, General Abdurrahman Tishani, the leader of the Presidential Guard since 2011, has declared himself the new leader of Niger, just 2 days after the coup began. Speaking in a televised address, the general said he took over because of insecurity, economic woes, and corruption. This is reportedly the 7th coup in the West and Central Africa regions since 2020. From Mali in the west to Sudan in the east, the situation in Niger could leave a band of African countries now run by military regimes. The coup could create waves of tension and volatility in an already unstable region, preyed on by Islamic insurgency and tempted by the prospect of Russian allegiance.